It's Christmas time, everybody. Welcome to another all-new episode of, actually, no. This has been a while since we actually did a new episode of the LoudCasa Talks.
Yeah. So, of course, we got another Christmas present for y'all, and that is our LoudCasa Talks episode. Last time we did it was when we reviewed a really Loud House Halloween.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So we don't really actually do this much often just because not a lot of new episodes came out for the Loud House, but during this time of Christmas, we decided to obviously review the newest episode that came out, Twas, The Fight Before Christmas. And so we're going to do that for y'all for this episode of the Loud Casa Talks. But first off, I do want to say this. How excited are you for the Casa Grandes movie?
Yes. We already talked about it last week.
I don't know. But this is for the Loud Casa Talks now. Okay?
Yes.
Remember, they have Casa Grandes, okay? Casa Grandes, I know it's currently over on the TV show, but now the Casa Grandes are back with the movie. Miguel Puga pretty much tweeted it out. In summary, since I know we talked about it in the animation podcast, for the Loud Casa Talks fans, I would imagine this has been a long time coming for the folks that are into the Loud House of the Casa Grandes.
Oh yeah, the Casa Grandes movie, we are super hyped for it. Like, oh my god, it is just like one of our most anticipated things to come out of 2024 from Netflix. It's been a long time coming. We've been waiting to see a solid conclusion under the Casa Grandes name, and yeah, we look forward to seeing what sort of big adventure Ronnie Ann and her extended family will have in the film.
I mean, I swear to God, like that whole ending of like season 3 of the Casa Grandes make me think like we should have added another season of the Casa Grandes. But then again, like the whole story of this brand new like land that they're going to visit, plus this new girl that we saw in the whole preview picture that we saw with Miguel on Miguel's post, kind of tells me like it's a brand new adventure that Ronnie Ann is going to go through. Plus the Casa Grandes is going through that as well. So it's going to be fun, exciting. I can't wait for the episode to come out. So yeah.
Yeah, from the first image alone, like from a promo image alone, you can already tell that we're going to be in for something special.
Oh yeah, indeed. But yes, we are gonna wait until whatever 2024. Feels like July, August of 2024. We're probably gonna see the Casa Grandes movie. We have to wait until Netflix pretty much put a release date for that. But
that would be a coincidence if it did release in August 2024. Oh wait, no. When did the Loud House movie release? I think it was back in November.
Remember. Yeah, November. Was it November? I think it was like.
Oh no, it was August, I believe.
I don't know. I forgot about the release date, but sometime around there, yeah.
It'd be funny if the Casa Grandes movie released around the same month or even day as when the Loud House movie released back in 2021.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like just the same month and date.
That'd be really cool. I mean, 3 years after the Loud House movie came out, now the Casa Grandes movie come out. That'll be sick. Miguel, we can't wait for your new project, and undoubtedly, we can't wait for the Casa Grandes movie. Yes.
Casa Grandes.
Now, let's actually start our review of Twas, The Fight Before Christmas. Now, this is like what the 6th episode or sixth special or something that the Loud House has done. I mean, there's a lot of Loud House like Christmas specials and episodes that they've done before, like 11 House Sleeping, Seasons Cheatings, Flipmas Carol, and a Christmas movie, Loud House Christmas. Remember that?
But you did forget one thing: Seasons Cheatings.
Yeah, don't forget Seasons Cheatings. Yes, I mean, I already said that. Yeah, Seasons Cheatings was in the list. But yes, all these Christmas episodes have been quite a lot. Now we have to compare it with this one. Let's talk about the previous Christmas episodes before. What did you like about those ones?
What I loved about the animated Loud House Christmas specials, I'm going to say animated, is that each and every single one of them, they really do have. It's a combination of the heartwarming message. What makes Christmas have meaning, combined with the Christmas spirit, the Loud House humor, the heart of what made the Loud House so iconic in the first place, and all in all, some really great emotional scenes and songs in Love Loud Sleeping's case to go along with it.
Love Loud Sleeping definitely is like I think the top favorite when it comes to all the Loud House like Christmas episodes or specials that they bring out. I still give my take on a Loud House Christmas. I still think it's one of my classic Loud House movies that I'll watch. And Flipmas Carol undoubtedly is an underrated story, I would say. And then Season Cheatings, yes, that was also a really good episode as well.
Yeah.
But yes, like I said, I like the live action Christmas movie of the Loud House. Okay, they did a really good job, and it also did bridge the fact that they were going to become part of the really Loud House.
Well, like I said before, Now, 11 Lots of Leaping is definitely top favorite. Season Change was actually a pleasant surprise because it turned out better than I expected. Like, when I looked at the summary, I kind of groaned and thought, oh god, I'm going to hate this, aren't I? But no, it actually turned out much better than I thought. Much pleasant surprise. Flip is Carol, I would say it was serviceable. It was a serviceable Christmas Carol adaptation. Not the strongest Christmas Carol adaptation I've seen, but with the way they portrayed Flip as the Ebenezer Scrooge type, it made sense for his character. They did make it worthwhile. It was one of the better Flip episodes. The highlight was the loud kiss as a ghost.
Yeah, I think that's the only best part about it. But the other thing too is that again, it's a way of like how Flip can actually become a good Mr. Scrooge. Like, oh, he gave away bad gifts to like suckers that bought his stuff, and then he gets to pay. He has to like pay for what he's done for all the things that he did, becoming a sucker in the past, like all the setbacks that happen in the present and then in the future where he might pass away or something like that.
Lucy as death, though. Lucy as death was.
Yeah, I know. That was quite touching
Yes.
as well. But yeah, I mean, those are all great Christmas specials. Now, let's talk about this Christmas special, Twas the Fight Before Christmas. First off, when you compare this one to like the 5 of the ones that we just talked about recently, how does it fare compared to those?
I will say that when I look at Twas the Fight Before Christmas, I'm going to be honest, it's not as good as 11 Lots of Sleeping. Let's be honest. 11 Lots of Sleeping is still king.
All those episodes cannot reach up to the level of 11 Lots of Sleeping.
I will say that it is slightly below Seasons Change, just slightly below.
Okay, so it's kind of like saying you're average on this thing.
No, I would say that like it's good, but there is like some things I feel could have been done differently with it.
I feel like this is an okay episode, like I said, but again, we're going to be talking about it right now, so let's go ahead and go straight to the episode, Twas the Fight Before Christmas. Now, the episode begins where Lin Senior claims he has a back injury, and this has been going out throughout, I guess, like the whole Christmas time. This whole back injury comes into play. It's like, oh, he's hurt. Oh my God, like he can't go anywhere. Blah blah blah. But then we get to see Lincoln actually break the fourth wall and actually tell about the story about Lin Senior having a brother.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's actually out of the blue. How do you feel about him actually having a brother like that?
I was actually kind of surprised by that, just by the mere fact that the fact that prior to the episode, we never hear Lin Senior having a sibling of any kind, let alone a brother. And it's kind of surprising to hear Leonard. Whenever we see Leonard, he never mentions the fact of Lin Senior having a brother either.
I can't believe, like, we know about this Lance person. This Lance person has never been mentioned at all in the Loud House. Not even from Lin Senior's mouth, not even from anybody from the Louds. It's just like, wow, out of nowhere, there's that brother that Lin Senior has. Like, I don't know if this actually is great, but what are your thoughts on just adding a character just out of nowhere after 7 seasons?
Now, Lincoln did mention that the whole incident that started the sibling rivalry in the first place took place 5 years ago. So I think it's due to the fact of how I think the reason why it was never mentioned by Lin Senior or even Leonard in the first place is because it could be a touchy subject for Lin Senior.
Maybe, but at the same time, I understand like maybe there could have been a mention of like the Leonard siblings at least mentioning someone from those cousins, because when you look at those cousins that you see in the title card, wait, they're nobodies that I know. Like, they've never gotten mentioned. They never got even shown. And I was just like, who are they?
Yeah, and another thing, too, is that I've always been curious to see what the Loud's extended family is like. We got what we wanted about
at least you got, like, Lin Senior's dad, so there he is. And he had been showing up in a couple episodes. So does this mean, like, there's more extended family stuff that we're going to see? We did see Pop, Rita's dad. So
yeah, now you see, and we saw Leonard, Lin Senior's dad, encamped, and so it is kind of surprised of how we see like Lin Senior having siblings of his own, like the Loud kids have an uncle and cousins, and aunt.
Yeah, and so it's just really interesting how they just came out of nowhere. But the thing is, now you added those characters in. How are you going to blend them into the Loud House now, knowing the fact that they're now part of the Loud House as a part of family too? So I would imagine a lot of references here and there, but again, this is just the beginning, so let's actually know about who Lance's family is. Now Lance is, as we already said, Lin Senior's brother. But there's also a family that he's been raising. He has a aunt. He has a
He has a wife named Sharon.
Yeah, go ahead. He has a wife named Sharon, and then he also has 3 kids: Shane, Shelby, and
Shiloh.
Shiloh. Yeah.
Shiloh, yeah.
So when you first saw these family members, what were your thoughts seeing these guys?
Yeah, I honestly thought to myself, yeah, it is a bit of a surprise seeing as how the fact of how Lincoln Loud has an uncle, aunt, and cousins, and ever since I saw that they were gonna meet up with the uncle, aunts, and cousins, I was really excited for it because I was like, okay, I really do like to see what they would do with the Loud's extended family like these, and because I've always wanted to see the Loud's extended family in terms of uncles, aunts, and cousins. Prior to this, I'm going to be honest, I thought that Lynn Sr. was going to have a sibling and they were going to have, 11 kids themselves.
Oh, no.
Imagine that.
That'll be a bigger family. And I just hope Lynn, we'll have what? We're going to have like more 11 like brothers that we don't know about from Lynn Sr. We already have one. Maybe there's 10 more. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, this is before I found out about this, but it actually turns out that Lance's side of the family is actually a much smaller unit.
Yeah, I just feel like those 2 are the only like kids he had because I didn't see any daughters. That was it Lynn Sr.'s dad had. So it's just those 2, I would imagine. I just want to keep it that way. I just want to know if we can have a more extended family. Please don't do this.
Unless you put in a plot twist, it's like, oh, Lynn Sr., you had a twin sister all along.
No. Let's not go that way, or else we're going to have like really a lot of Loud House episodes. Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
All right, so now here's the thing. Like, Lynn Sr. wants to hide the fact that he has a brother named Lance, and it's all just because of one particular thing that happened, quote, 5 years ago. So while the kids were sleeping, how cute they are. Aw.
Look at that. This is adorable.
Look at them. They're all cute and sleeping. And they're all trying
Luna's sleeping with the guitar. I love it.
Yeah. It's adorable. Yes, we get it. The parents, on the other hand, were doing some sort of white elephant thing. And something happened about a spatula that ended up actually having them fight for it. Yeah.
It's so petty. It's so petty, all because of white elephant gift exchange.
It's just because, like, what was it? Lynn Sr. got a spatula, and then Lance took the spatula, and then that's technically what white elephant is. And then in the end, they broke the spatula, and then, Lynn Sr. broke the medicine ball that he had.
Accidentally. He accidentally broke the men's exercise ball as Lynn Sr. was trying to grab the spatula. But yeah, it doesn't change the fact that he still did it. And ever since then, Lance and Lynn Sr. have started up their sibling rivalry where it lasted 5 years.
And then again, this just continues on with this whole feud thing. So it just turns out to not really work out. I also saw Lincoln also being sad about this as well. Yeah. So, oh man.
And I do want to mention how Lincoln Loud tells his story because it is just magnificent.
It's a freaking nursery rhyme or something. It's supposed to be like a Christmas tale and things like that. So I don't know what the script writers were doing, but it did a really amazing job having Lincoln say all those lines.
It's a nice combination of Lincoln breaking the fourth wall again. It's such a rarity to see Lincoln breaking the fourth wall again. I love seeing that because that was one of these staples of Lincoln Loud's character. He breaks the fourth wall. He talks to us about his life in the big family. Mm-hmm. I love how they brought that back, while at the same time combining this nursery rhyme Christmas tale like story that Lincoln Loud delivers when telling the tale of the feud between the 2 brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I really do like that whole little tidbit that they had over there for the Loud House. Yeah. So yeah, we get to see the cousins. Yeah, the cousins are obviously having their own kind of family thing. I don't know what's going on with their family, but I know they love to work out. You get to see Shelby. You get to see what was it?
Lance and Sharon work out.
Yeah, Lance and Sharon work out. Lance is definitely a bodybuilder, while Sharon is a yoga master, looks like. While the kids just do their own thing.
And turns out Shiloh got his parents' genes because he loves to lift, despite the fact that he's a little boy.
He's a little boy, and also he has a broken arm. Throughout the episode, you get to see that arm, oh man, he broke it. What did you do? Lift a heavy thing?
He's sort of like Paula in the sense that he doesn't let his crutch or disability stop him from, working out or doing what he loves to do, athletic wise.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to see Shelby, who's kind of a funny girl, and she's also kind of like Lincoln. Not really like a man with a plan kind of woman, but she still was able to, have the same kind of traits like Lincoln has.
Yeah, I will say, like Shelby is just straight up adorable, just by the fact of how like she has that free spiritedness of Sid Chang. Like she gives me Sid Chang's just by looking at her personality.
Kind of does.
It's
yeah.
just fun to watch.
And then you get to see Shane, who's literally a singer. Like literally, when he goes down the stairs, he literally just starts singing.
Yeah, Shane is like, that's what I love about Shane, is that Shane is the musical type. He's sort of like the Luna Loud of that family unit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we get to see our first impressions about the kids, and we get to see our first impression about Lance's kids, and now obviously the man with the plan, Lincoln, wants to do something to at least get them together, and so they pretty much all around about together, just to get a plan going between was it Lance's kids and Lynn Senior's kids, and in the end they ended up actually meeting up for Christmas over at the camp where Lynn Senior's dad is.
Camp Mastodon,
Camp Mastodon, indeed. Now it turns out to be pretty wholesome. Yeah, you get to see the Louds continue to hug each other and stuff like that.
Leonard is back. Leonard is back.
Like, what, for the fourth time now? I think Leonard's about to be a staple in the Loud House. Just watch.
Yeah, third and
fourth.
fourth.
And at the same time, you also get to see Lance's parents, and you get to see Lance's family. And when you see that conflict happen, well, yeah, a conflict happens.
Yeah, and another thing too is that neither of them knew that the other would show up until they met up in Mastodon.
Well, that was the whole entire plan that Lincoln was doing.
And that was, and that's what I like about this episode, is that it definitely captures Lincoln's man with the plan persona very well.
Yeah. So when you saw this reunion over here at Camp Mastodon, what were your thoughts on the fact that it's still going on?
I thought that of the fact of how, I wasn't surprised that Lance and Lynn Sr. would have this kind of reaction from seeing each other, because keep in mind is that it's been years since they made up with each other after the White Elephant gift exchange. And based on the fact that that not even we as an audience have even known about the fact that Lynn Sr. had a brother until now, really does highlight the fact of how that's how much Lynn Sr. hates his brother that much.
I guess that's how it is. And plus the fact that like both of them doesn't seem like they're in a perfect relationship, even though that whole spatula thing was just 5 years ago. I'm guessing that's just a whole grudge thing that they kept on going for a while. But nonetheless, even if they're fighting, you get to see them all reunite. Oh, yes. The cousins and the Louds are reunited. Isn't that great?
Now the cousins are a completely different story. Like the cousins, I love that they have that bond that they have with each other. Like they think of each other as family, and like they're all a family unit in of itself during that episode. I just love it.
Yeah,
the chemistry between
them. They have
them.
this whole obviously they were all connected. Oh, sorry, they're all bonded together. They're all just happy that they're all good to see each other. Obviously, now that you guys are in Camp Mastodon, it's time to do some snow activities. So they went to go sledding, and apparently that ended up being backfired. They ended up singing songs.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
And then that backfired too. And then they also were making snowmen, and it looks like they were actually making mechs out of all places.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it definitely gave me mech vibes right there.
I know, they're trying to showcase their monsters like machines or something through that.
You know what this scene reminds me of? It reminds me of that episode of Dexter's Lab where Dexter and Mandark tried to fight each other with the giant statues of the presidents. That's what that's instantly reminded me of.
Sounds about right, yeah. Kind of does a little bit. But here's the thing, they kept on being conflicted, even if the cousins, even if the Loud cousins and the Louds are just trying to have a fun time, these two continue to fight in a way between these activities. So what are your thoughts on just this continuing on, even if everyone's trying to have fun?
I will say that, as much as the Loud kids try to bring them together, let's be honest, it's looking to be more and more impossible. It's easier said than done. And yeah, based on what we've seen, Lynn Sr. and Lance, it is interesting, but at the same time, as time progresses, it gets their rivalry gets a bit tiresome.
It does get a little bit tiresome because it's more dude, look, have the kids have fun, let the whole family have fun. Even your own dad is pretty much trying to have fun with you guys, but you kept on continuing to see who's better, who's trying to still light fire to the feud, and it's just starting to get really annoying. Which I understand why Lynn Senior's dad is just continuing to get angry.
These are two grown men in their 40s, by the way.
Exactly. So I don't know why Leonard is absolutely kind of infuriated, which I would be the same, to be fair. So instead of just doing all of this, what is it? Leonard had this plan to actually cut down a tree with them, which actually turned out to do pretty well. What are your thoughts on like how Lincoln actually saying to like was it his grandpa, "Hey, why don't you bring Lynn Senior and Lance to cutting down a tree?" And it turned out to actually work out well.
Yeah, I honestly, if nothing else worked, I didn't expect that something as simple as accompanying their dad so that he can cut down the Christmas tree. I didn't expect that. Like, the Christmas activities didn't work, but them just watching, Leonard cut down a Christmas tree and then bonding over that. I'm gonna be honest, it was a bit unexpected, but it was heartwarming at the same time.
Well, they've been doing this for quite a while. Like in this clip you see here, what is it? You get to see Lance and Lynn Senior literally just like being kids and laughing at each other, considering that every time Leonard just keeps on chopping down a tree, something happens. Like their car gets wrecked. They took down a telephone pole. These kind of shenanigans. And you know what? Even at this present day, where like Leonard was cutting down a tree, it turned out to actually hit a deer, and that deer ended up actually flipping over a car. And in the end, it actually did help Lynn Senior and Lance actually bond, which I was thinking, oh great, cool, they actually are going to become great, and the whole Christmas episode is going to be all about them hanging out together. Yay!
Yeah, so let me just say that Lincoln actually did execute his plan very well at that moment where he suggested that Leonard bring his sons along for them to cut down the Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. It looked to be working.
I like that. And right now you think that the whole bonding thing is now. The whole beef thing is completely over. Both Lance and Lynn Senior look to be having a fun time. So they end up getting that tree that was cut down, apparently hit a deer. And they start decorating it. And by the way, that reference to that decoration, did you know that it was actually a SpongeBob reference?
Yeah, it's a starfish, like starfish on top of a tree.
Yeah. So when was it Shiloh actually did the whole starfish on top of the tree? When he even said, instead of putting a star, I put a starfish on a tree. And I'm like, oh my god,
that is a reference to Christmas Who.
It is totally a SpongeBob reference.
Reference to Christmas Who, yes.
Yes. I know that we don't talk about SpongeBob a lot, but what are your thoughts on actually having a SpongeBob reference in a Loud House?
Let's just say that Nickelodeon has a thing for putting starfish on top of Christmas trees.
Well, besides that, I forgot. There's actually a lot of other SpongeBob references that also pop up in the Loud House. I mean, there was one in the first episode of Loud House, if you remember correctly. When they're flipping channels, SpongeBob was there, and even in Lisa's preschool, there's a SpongeBob reference there also.
There is. I like those little Easter eggs that they throw in there.
Yeah, so thankfully we had one here.
Yeah.
Even though we kind of hate SpongeBob, we cannot outlive SpongeBob. He will still be here even if it's on a Loud House episode.
It's not the fact that we hate it, it's just the fact that we hate the post-movie era and the fact that it's currently overshadowing this beautiful show.
Indeed. So again, looks like they're bonding, looks like things are going to be fine. That is until something happened where Spider apparently was crawling on that fireplace. Look what Lance is holding. It's a spatula. And apparently that spatula was the way to whack the spider and kill it, but the spider didn't get killed. He accidentally broke it, which made Lynn Sr. angry.
There's some major issues that I have with this particular scene.
Oh, tell me more.
It's the lack of communication. The thing is that Lance could have told Lynn Sr. that the reason why I, used the spatula, why the spatula broke, is because there was a spider and I was trying to kill it. I think that based on Lynn Sr.'s fear of spiders, I think he would have not completely understood. He still would have been mad, but he still would have understood why he had to break it.
Right. But I just felt so again, short-lived, really short-lived. After 2 minutes, oh, this would have been great. No, we're going back to the plot of them being rivals again.
The thing is, though, is that it was a contrived way to, make the rivalry come back to life. I feel like it could have been done a different way. Instead of, a simple misunderstanding or something that could have been, let's be honest here. If Lance, like I said, had, told him why he broke the spatula, they still would have gone along perfectly fine.
Right, exactly. But now, again, another rivalry ensues. It kind of sucks because, you were thinking that it's just going to be all straightforward greatness and you get to see, the families bond. Instead, again, the rivalry continues to pick up, which means there's more popping of balloons, for example, popping of like medicine balls, for example. Of course, was it Lance eating Lynn's head off a gingerbread cookie? It's not good, and of course the family is absolutely suffering from it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel bad for the Loud kids, especially Leonard. Like, they don't deserve to, go through this just because of the fact that, well, Lynn Sr. and Lance, can't act like, actual legit adults for 5 seconds.
Indeed, and it kind of sucks considering that the rivalry continued on, and plus, like, the kids are suffering. They just are not. They can't do anything about it. It's just those two continue to get a fight. So, when this fight continued to happen, looks like everybody's having their own dinners. Like Lance's family is having their own dinner on one side of the cabin, and oh yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, Leonard has to split between both of them.
Yeah, it's up to a point where they basically had to paint a orange line, right down like all over Leonard's face, just so that they could share Leonard, because it's according to Lynn Sr. It's so that you won't pick between us.
Right, exactly. And plus the thing is, like, it's Leonard and it's his two sons. I feel bad for Leonard, just the fact that he had to deal with whatever their rivalry is, and it started to get a little bit ridiculous now.
Seriously, it's just like, honestly, Leonard is the most relatable character of the show, just by the fact of how you get really annoyed by Lindsay or Lance's childish rivalry.
Yeah,
like Leonard's the most relatable character of the show.
Like, they're over 40 years old, and they're supposed to be great parents, but they're not acting like great parents. They're just acting like selfish, like kids here all of a sudden.
Exactly, which makes them bad role models here.
Right, exactly. And oh my god, and I just feel like so bad for like the whole entire family. I would imagine Rita and Sharon, both of them, are like, these are what I was married. These are whom I was married to.
Yeah, they must feel embarrassed. They feel embarrassed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So this again continues on. But what happens to the Loud house? What happens to the Loud kids and the cousins? So Lincoln again, the man with the plan, decides to try to make something up to actually have the cousins and the Louds, team up together. So they actually pulled each other aside. And they actually did make a plan to actually buy a spatula, just to make sure Lynn Sr. doesn't get all frantic or anything like that.
Buy a spatula and exercise ball, and have it be like from one another.
Thanks to Shelby's Category 1 Shelby brainstorm, by the way. Yeah, she continues to spin, and I don't know what's up with her, but her and spinning has been a thing.
Yeah, it has, and I'm going to say this right now. Her spinning is just straight up adorable. Like, it represents her free-spiritedness, her own way of coming up with plans, and it's for her to spin around, which is like...
Oh, she also span when she was also in that sled, too, so I'm guessing spinning is just her thing.
Spinning is her, like, way of showing excitement or trying to come up with a plan or something like that. Spinning is just her thing, and let's be honest, like, it's like I said before, it's a cute little habit of hers.
Yeah, it definitely shows that she's quite of a... Well, when she's a child, you expect something very, like, cutesy from her at all, so yeah.
And also, like, her Santa sweater, like, the way she talks.
Just talking, Santa she's like, Merry Christmas and all that.
Oh my god, I can't help but love Shelby. She is a precious child.
She's a precious child, yeah. I can't do much about it. We wish we could see more of Shelby if the Loud House can actually make more episodes of her.
They do have potential, like, the cousins do have potentials to... They have the potential to appear in more episodes.
We'll see, because it's just one Christmas episode right now. So yeah, the Louds and the cousins are both planning up right now. And the plan is to pretty much have Lori, Lincoln, and Shelby go to that store that's pretty much off somewhere to get that spatula and that medicine ball. But at the same time, obviously the families are kind of be wondering, where's Shelby, where's Lincoln, where's Lori? So this leads up to the plan here where we get this, like, obviously stall time. So in this particular scene here, we get to see Lance. Obviously, he's kind of wondering where Shelby is, but Shiloh is the one who's actually lifting. And FYI, he's a kid. He can lift a tree.
Yes.
I think you've been training that kid quite well, Lance and Sharon.
If Shelby is the Lincoln Loud of the cousins, and if Shane Loud is the Luna of that family unit, then Shiloh is definitely the Lynn Loud.
I guess so, yeah. Shiloh looks like... Okay, so I was going to say, like, they have a comparison, like, between whatever Louds they are. Like, you get to see Shelby become something like Lincoln. Looks like Shiloh is a Lynn, Lynn Jr. just because she loves to lift and stuff. And then you get to see Shane, who's a singer, and I'm assuming Luna is definitely a huge, like, a huge partnership with her.
Yeah, and another thing, too, is that Lincoln and Shelby, what they have in common is that they're both the middle child of their respective family sibling units.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And they're the only gender of their respective sibling units as well.
Right, exactly. And that's why it makes this family kind of like lovable, sort of say. So yeah, you get to see them do a lifting contest for, I guess, one of their Christmas activities. While the Louds are doing like some sort of like shepherd's pie thing that Lynn was about to share to everybody. But of course, you don't see Lori and Lincoln. So it's up to Lily, out of all people, to actually be the voice of Lincoln and Lori.
My God, I'm loving how Lily has evolved more and more. Like I said before.
I'm like, thank goodness, because she's now a young girl and she can talk now. I mean, she has her own episodes.
She's a more full-fledged character. She's not just the baby poo-poo baby of the Loud House anymore. Like, I love how like the later Loud House seasons make Lily a more well-layered and more talkative character. They give her more to do in the later seasons.
Oh yeah, definitely. And thankfully, like, Lily's not just a useless character anymore. She actually will be like something special. Like in this particular scene where Lily is now going under the table to have Lori and Lincoln be the voice of Under the Table, apparently. So yeah, they're sharing shepherd's pie. It looks great and everything. And of course, we get to see what happened to Lincoln, Lori, and Shelby. Looks like they're both lost, but they're at least trying to have a fun time with it. They're still trying to figure out where that store is. I do love this particular scene here. Yeah, look, Lori and Lincoln teaming up together to, make sure that they're there in the table. I love Shelby just having that expression. I'm sorry. It's cute too.
I love that bonding there, right there. Like, not only do you have your Link corny moment, but you also add Shelby into the mix. Like Lori and Lincoln pretty much make up a story, then Shelby laughs in the corner. I just love it. I just
like the whole chemistry between all of them. I mean, obviously, Lori and Lincoln, they have their moments of just like them, becoming like teams together. But then Shelby comes in the case, and she's also pretty adorable, as trying to be like the next third man person out there.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing too is that she's made them lost. By the way, what are your thoughts on her just losing the sense of direction?
Yeah, Shelby, I love you, Shelby, but you kind of fudged up there.
Don't want to say the real F word, huh? Okay, yeah.
I'm like Christmas fudge, like chocolate pudding, all this stuff.
But I just love the fact that when Lori's trying to go find that store, she's trying to listen to Shelby's directions, but again, lost sense of directions for Shelby. So they're both trying to figure out where to go, and then at the end, they actually did crash Svanzilla. So
I'm like, why did they use the GPS?
I was wondering, where's you have cell phones, where's your GPS locator at?
Exactly. Like I said before.
I feel like there's bad writing in this Loud House fan.
Like I said before, okay, not as bad as that whole spatula thing, but I feel like had they use the GPS from their phones, they could have gone to the store quickly. Like it could have been it could have been a bit more better brainstorming.
Indeed, yeah. So again, I don't understand this whole situation. Nonetheless, it's still like a good moment to actually have these three actually have their time where they actually would try to hide and do all these voice things here and there, which is great. So yeah, but all three of them looks like they're going to go to the store. They actually did find that store. But the other problem is it's all the way across a lake, and when you run around a lake that a lot, you end up actually being caught on the lake.
The ice cracks, and yeah.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on this? It's like, this is a troubling scenario between Lori, Lincoln, and Shelby. They don't have any ways to communicate also. Plus, I'm sorry. They do have ways to communicate with that whole walkie-talkie. But they have to, literally just say, help, we need help, please help. So they blow the cover immediately.
Talk about skating on thin ice, am I right?
Oh, my God.
Well, not really skating, but more like walking on thin ice. But, yeah, either way, they're in peril, and, yeah, this really does call for, for desperation for help. Otherwise, they're going to be frozen.
Obviously, Shelby, Lincoln, and Lori are in trouble. They need to bring the dads over, but apparently they're still fighting. I'm like, come on, guys. This is your kids here. You guys have to immediately go straight to rescuing your kids.
Yeah, you would think that they would put their differences aside because, well, it's their kids. But no, even as they come to the rescue, they still bicker.
So, yeah, even though they bicker, at least Leonard was there just to say, hey, stop it. Good. You guys just drive over to the lake, help rescue your kids. And then this comes up with a plan where Lance was actually making this whole zipline thing, where he would make the zipline, Lynn Sr. would rescue the kids, and at the end of the whole entire scene, they actually did rescue the kids, and it led up to a very wholesome moment at the end.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on this particular rescue scene?
That group hug, man. That group hug. Like that image will stay rent free in my head. But anyway, back to this. Now, of course, you do see what I do like is how Lance pretty much invents a zip line based on like the stuff that he got as presents. And that was actually clever of Lance. It really does show how he not only uses bronze, but he can use brains as well for a brawny
He's
guy.
not a dumb guy, I would say. I would say like he's just more on muscle, but at the same time, like he would, do whatever it takes to make something that could like be helpful for in situations like these.
Yeah, I think that's what's refreshing about Lance is that he's both like brawn and brain, and then Lynn Senior's job is to pretty much use the zip liner to go down and rescue the kids, and so they managed to do so with flying colors, and of course, ever since then, that whole rescue scene finally gets Lynn Senior and Lance to make up and actually
make up, yeah.
yeah, and actually have a brotherly relationship again.
Yes, and thanks to that, we can see a whole rescue moment here where we get to see the moms actually hug their kids again. And FYI, Lucy, why are you in a freaking black robe? You were really expecting death, were you?
Okay, that was hilarious. That was kind of funny, like dark but funny. Like seeing Lucy in like these clothes,
Look like the
expect
whole,
them to
like
die.
The Louds and like the cousins were all like waiting, anticipating that they're not gonna die, and then out of all people, Lucy
expected them to die.
Well, wear all of that black, and I'm like, oh my god, Lucy.
God, I love Lucy.
Oh, that was great. Yes, everybody is rescued. Everyone's all back to normal, and the brothers looks like they all reconciled at the end.
And they cry.
Yes, they do cry. They say like they're sorry. They apologize to their families, and it is pretty much, I think, all good as new.
Yeah, like crying is pretty much the family trait. Like it's the family genes. Like because all of them cry tears, flooded tears.
Yeah, they did. They actually cried like a river of tears to say. And in the end, they also did actually sing a song in the end.
Yes.
Having Lance and Luna actually sing together was actually pretty epic as well.
Luna's time to shine, baby. Let's go.
And of course, with this whole final song, it all did lead up to everybody having an amazing Christmas at the end.
Yeah, needless to say, that ending sequence is beautiful. Not only is the song amazing, sung by Luna and Shane, but also just by the fact of how this entire scene is animated and the sequence of it is just wholesome to see the entire Loud family, like both sides of the family, come together to make one extended family bonding over Christmas. And yeah, from hot cocoa to laughing to smiling, having a good time to even singing along to the song. And yeah, even down to the big hug right there. Yeah. It's just so heartwarming.
I would say at least the whole ending sequence ended up becoming quite like an amazing kind of last couple of minutes. I do have to say though, this episode was all right to say. Now it's time to go to our review here. Like I said, it's all right. I feel like the pacing kind of got a little bit too fast. Like, oh, we get to see the family members, great. Get to see the cousins, for the first time. I wish we could actually get to see more about the cousins because we only get to see Shiloh become strong. We get to see Shelby become very, cutesy. You get to see Shane only saying for 1 minute. I'm not gonna lie, he's saying in that last scene and then saying in the beginning. That's it. Wish we could get to see more of the cousins. And then, of course, not much on Sharon either. I guess these character introductions didn't go too well. We only cared more about Lance, and Lance was obviously the big problem, considering that he's also one of the main problems that Lynn Senior had when it came to the sibling rivalry they had. I don't know about the whole story setup itself because, it's just because of one spatula, and it continues on with the brawl. A spatula broke during the White Elephant, and they end up getting a feud. Same thing happened over at the Christmas party at Camp Macedon, where they actually had a broken spatula and a broken medicine ball. And they fight. So I don't know when it comes to the spatula and medicine ball thing that goes on with the siblings, but it got kind of weird. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I said, I really do love the interaction between the Louds and the cousins. I really hope that we end up seeing more about the cousins in future episodes, but we'll see how that goes. But overall, not a bad episode. I wish it would actually do something along the lines of a better kind of Christmas episode, like Live Loud Sleeping. It's not as that epic like Live Loud Sleeping. I don't see much of the big surprises here and there. It was just more of all the families having fun, and then of course a rescue mission actually saving their breakup or something like that. So again, not bad of an episode.
I feel like in terms of ranking the Christmas, in terms of ranking the Christmas episodes, it's better than Flip Miss Carol, but not nearly as good as 11 Loud Sleeping or Seasons Cheatings. In terms of the episode overall, the problems I had were not only was it too fast, but not only was it paced a bit too fast, but I feel like it got contrived at times. Like, not only was the spatula reason too petty, like, there could have been a much stronger reason as to why Lynn Sr. and Lance started their rivalry. Like, maybe there was an... Okay, I'm going into dark territory here, but maybe there could have been an accident that caused, like, the death of their mother, because we don't even see their mother.
Oh, jeez. They don't want to go that dark to a Loud House episode.
Like it would, and they would blame each other for the cause of it. Like, it would have been too dark for a Loud House episode, but it would have been a legitimate reason, as opposed to, oh, he stole my spatula, or he broke my spatula, he stole the thing I love, I would hate him for 5 years. It's like, no, that's stupid, that's petty. Because keep in mind, these are two 40-year-old adults. And also, I do feel like, like I said before, going back to the whole spatula spider sequence scene, it was just a contrived way to get the sibling rivalry to pretty much come alive again, when we could have been focusing on the second half of the episode, could have been focusing on more than just Lindsay or Lance. They could have focused more on the cousins or Sharon and all that stuff. I feel like they could have been like, I love the cousins, I enjoyed them so much, but there could have been more to do with them, like have them interact individually with each Loud, from the senior side. So yeah, I would definitely say but the heartwarming message is still there, and I do love the climax, the ending, and the ending was just sweet. It was heartwarming, and the bond between the Loud cousins is legitimately nice to see. So all in all, I will say that, not bad, but it could have been as strong. It could have been stronger, so I would say 7 out of 10.
You say 7 out of 10? I actually would say the same rating as well, 7 out of 10. Again, not really the best kind of Christmas episode that I would expect for a Loud House episode, because there have been some good ones. Seasons Cheating, Flip Miss Carol. That in my case, I like Flip Miss Carol. Okay, I think it's actually below it. I'm not gonna lie. It tells you how bad it was. Well, yeah, okay, not bad, but like 7. I said 7 out of 10. So there's that. You can never outstand the 10 out of 10 episode that's 11 Loud Sleeping. Just a heads up. Okay.
Oh yeah, it will always remain the best Christmas episode. It's a good Christmas classic out of all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they had a better way to actually introduce the cousins a little bit more. I would love to see more about the cousins, because I know that they can interact more with the Louds. I would imagine Luna and Shane having a dual Carol together or something like that. Have Shelby and Lincoln hang out more, I mean, you did have some moments where they did hang out, literally just trying to find some spatula in the store. And have Shiloh and Lynn actually have a competition together. Have those little bonding moments between the cousins and the Louds. And you don't see that much in this episode.
That's what should have happened in the second half. They could have done much more than Lance, because Lance was the only major part of that particular Loud family unit, whereas Sharon and the kids, as much as I love them, they felt more like background characters.
Yeah, they absolutely were background characters. And the thing is, there should not really be background characters. They should at least be something a little bit relevant to a little bit to the Loud House, considering that they are actually family, so they need to be there more often. But now the fact that they're actually pushed aside for being secondary characters doesn't feel like they're actually going to be more episodes of them in the Loud House.
I really do hope so, because they have the potential
I said there aren't going to be any new episodes of them in the Loud House.
Well, I mean, but then comes, the new season to be announced, and for all we know, they could, they could have more episodes with them. Who knows in the future? We could be surprised by it. It's not like the chances are zero that they're never going to appear again. No, there could be a chance. I do believe in that chance.
There's a possible chance, but like I said, we don't know how it'll go. But I'm just saying, this was the opportunity for the cousins to actually show the case, their amazingness, that they could become very vital in the Loud House. This is their opportunity, and it didn't really work out when I see it.
Yeah, no, they have the potential to be more.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we can get to see more of Lance's family and the cousins a whole lot more, maybe more interactions with them and the Louds, but who knows how that'll be. Nonetheless, this was the final episode of 2023 for the Loud House. There are going to be more episodes that have been announced that are going to be released early 2024. One in particular we can't wait for, the Ronnie and Luann episode. So that one we can't wait for.
Another episode with Ronnie Yan. It's nice to see Ronnie Yan interact with the other Louds other than Lincoln and Lori. Like, this is like Ronnie Yan's chance to interact with a different Loud.
Right, exactly. So I'm just hoping that this ends up doing really well. I know that the Casa Grandes are currently in the Loud House. No way of getting the Casa Grandes back unless there's a movie. Maybe the new season will come out. Maybe because of that. Who knows?
Yeah, who really knows? But honestly, like I said before, while it may be the end of the Casa Grandes show, it's not the end of the Casa Grandes as characters.
Oh, exactly, yeah. And that's why they're currently still in the Loud House.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much our review for Twas a Fight for Christmas. Not a bad Christmas episode. We think that it could have been better, especially with the fact that there's brand new cousins in the show. But yeah, that's all we can say about it. Anything else you want to say more about this episode here?
Yes, I would just like to say that it's nice to see the cousins again, even though there could have been more to do with it. But yeah, overall, give us more of these cousins. We want more. And also, Leonard really, it's nice to see Leonard back as well after, 2 episodes that he was in. Like, we haven't seen him in a while, so it's nice to see him back.
Yeah, again, we've seen him in 4 episodes now. Bummer Camp, for example. So, again, it's great to see, again, Leonard, but at the same time, we haven't seen you a lot. If anything, again, the cousins were the brand new things that were absolutely the main focus of the episode. So, yeah, again, squandered it. I just hope they end up getting more episodes in the Loud House, but we'll see. Anyways, that's it for our episode of the LoudCasa Talks. We'll be back when more new episodes come out, and we'll possibly review them. But until then, thank you very much for checking out the LoudCasa Talks episode here. That's it for us here tonight. Thank you very much for watching on Twitch and on YouTube, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Merry Christmas and stay loud.
All right, bye guys. See ya.